Hello. Okay, next tutorial. I'm actually going to be doing something a little bit different today. I'm actually going to be doing a 3-part tutorial, or tutorials. Now, I don't know if you can tell from the makeup or anything like that, but these tutorials are all going to be based on the K-pop, C-pop group EXO. Okay. Now, for those of you who don't know, it's like Korean Chinese pop music. Now, if you Google EXO, I mean, these videos are immense. They're so cool. There's 3 makeup looks that I wanted to recreate from one particular music video they've done for Mama. Actually, I mean, this is one of the looks. They're actually very cool. Something about them is just, I love them. But my best friend Caroline actually showed me the video because I'm not an avid watcher of K-pop. I love it. I do enjoy it. But Caroline knows a lot more about it than I do. And she's a massive fan. She's a dancer as well. She's a great dancer, so she knows the routines for these kind of music videos and such. And she's actually got her own like K-pop team called Loco. And she does they teach workshops in the UK, which is wonderful. I'll put their link to their fan page and all the links in the description below, just if you want to check them out because they are amazing. And I'll put Caroline's link there to say if you want to see her YouTube channel. So EXO, from what I can gather, is actually made up of 2 separate bands. One called EXO M and one called EXO K. K is the Korean band, M is the Chinese band. There's 2 of the same song, obviously same Korean and one in Chinese, but 2 completely separate music videos, both filmed exactly the same way, except for some reason the makeup's different. So not a bad thing for me, so I'm going to be recreating that look as well. So I'm going to be creating 3 looks for these tutorials. It's going to be one by Kai, Chris, and Xiumin's makeups. So this one obviously is Xiumin. Okay, so this is the makeup he has in the music video. So stay tuned if you want to see how to do these looks. Okie dokie, so I've already shaved, moisturised, all that jazz. And now I'm going to be applying my foundation and concealer. You don't have to do this step. I'm only doing it because I want the whole blank canvas and I'm going to be using a foundation that's a paler shade than my own natural skin tone, just so it makes the detailing stand out a bit more. You can skip this step completely and go straight on to the detailing. It's up to you. As I said, I'm just doing it because it means I've got more to work with, a blank slate, and so I'm just going to quickly speed through this bit. So I'm using M.A.C Studio Finish Concealer in NW15, and I'm going to apply that under my eyes and over my stubble, basically, in areas that are dark that I just want to conceal. Actually, check out the description box below, or I might put a link here. Just because a long time ago I did a makeup tutorial on how to do manly makeup, it just might help for this step, just because I'm not really going into too much detail for this really for now. So I've also just gone over my lips because it seems that, not like a heavy amount, but it seems that in the video that his lips are quite pale on the edges. So okay, so now once that's all blended and you're happy with that, I'm going to use M.A.C Studio Fix Fluid in the same colour, the NW15. I'm going to apply that all over my face. Okay, so when you're happy with the coverage, I'm going to take some Grimas translucent powder, or any kind of translucent powder, just to set the makeup, set the foundation in place so it stays on longer and it doesn't look as shiny. And then just brush off the excess. Okie dokie, so now that's done, I can start on the detailing. Now I'm going to be using mainly two types of makeup here. I mean, I'm going to use eyeshadow as well, I think, but for now, these are the basics. Black Snazaroo watercolour, so just a regular black watercolour. Snazaroo I like because their consistency and the evenness of the colour is just really nice. And I'm using Grimas Black Cream. Now, a lot of people in the past asked me questions about this. It's basically, this is another name, cream is another name for grease paints, okay? So, I mean, a black grease paint, I like it because it just doesn't dry and you can blend it. And there's a lot of smoky black going on in this look, so that's what we're going for. So these two mainly you need. Okay, so to start off with, I'm going to take the black watercolour and I'm going to cover my eyelid and the surrounding area, just like a circle, just all around my eye, except I'm going to leave about 1 centimetre between my eye, or all around my eye, okay, so no makeup there at all. Okay, so just like that. I mean, it really doesn't have to be neat. I know I say that a lot, but it does not have to be neat at all because it's going to be smoked out and everything. So, okay, so I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to take my Grimas cream and I'm going to blend out all of the edges. Okay, so I'm going to take a small amount of the black cream and I'm just going to lightly brush outwards. Okay, so now I'm going to take the black watercolour and a really fine brush, and I'm going to do the webbing that he has on either side of his eyes. Now this is going to be the most complicated bit of the look, I think, to be honest. So I'm only taking a small amount of colour, not much at all. I'm going to trace gently what I want, where I want it to go. Okay, I think that's the gist of the first line he's got. Okay, and then just going to keep doing the same thing, gentle strokes outwards until I've done, I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There seems to be 5 on either side, so 5 lines. Okie dokie, so I mean it's quite difficult to get symmetrical, but it doesn't have to be too perfect because you can once you've got the lines down, you can blend away from those edges, so it's fine. Okay, so once you've got your 5 lines either side, we can work on joining them in the middle. So the actual, when the lines join, they don't have to be symmetrical at all. It's just the initial lines. What you do when you've got, say, I was doing this one, I'll show you for example. When you've done that, if you take a tiny brush and a tiny bit of cream, not too much at all because you just want it to be blending, you can just put it on the edge and pull downwards and you get that smoky blendy effect. The idea is the opposite side has to have a neat edge with no blending. Wherever you blend, the opposite side has no blending, basically. So you can just have fun with it. Just so as long as you don't take too much and just literally pull down. Just keep doing that. Always work in one direction. With the spider webbing, you can be fairly creative with it because, I mean, I've had some excellent screenshots sent to me by Caroline, but it's so hard to pinpoint in the actual music video a scene where you see everything proper close up. So you don't see a lot of this. I mean, if you do, I apologize. I just couldn't see it. I mean, every time I paused it, it blurred. So, but you can. I mean, as long as it's not too much webbing and you're a bit sporadic with it, a bit random, it doesn't really matter. Just try not to overpower it too much. Just keep it to about 3 maximum, 3 lines per web, if that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, so if you're feeling particularly confident, you can do some blending with your finger. So when you've got like a big bulky eye like this, you can just sweep it downwards. But you've got to be careful you don't overlap on the web because if you'll end up blending it all together. But I mean, it gives a nicer effect without the brush strokes if you can do it with your finger. And every now and again, when you follow the line round the web, just go down. Just make a tiny little smudge in random places along the web. It doesn't have to be neat at all, that's the point of this look. Okay, so also, right, so to do this part here, it looks like it's something like that. The shape that he's got, the S shape. And just did a couple little lumps, little round circles here, like half circles. I'm using the cream, by the way, at the moment. Okay, right, I'm going to chill it on the webs for a little bit and have a little break from it and start doing the nose because I'm starting to look dangerously like Spider-Man's evil half-brother, so yeah. Okay, so I'm taking the black cream and for the nose, and I'm going to, this is quite difficult, if I just draw a little tear shape here. Okay, so roughly that little tiny shape, not like a half triangle type thing. So I'm just going to take the end of a brush, really fine brush, and I'm just going to really gently blend it outwards. Not too far. Now I'm going to draw the lines on the mouth. So I'm going to take the really small amount of cream and just draw a line downwards. Okay, so just do 2 lines going down either side as well. So I'm going to use the same blendy technique that I used on the web. I'm just going to take a small amount on there and just brush it downwards. Okay, just like that. It's not too much blending, just enough in the corners of the mouth. Okay, right, next I'm going to do the neck. So there's not much detail in this either. It's just a load of lines, half circles going, well, I say a load, about 2 or 3 going downwards. Okay, so like that, not much detail in there really at all, is there? So I'm going to do exactly the same blending technique, just blend it all outwards to make it look a bit smoky. Okay, so very, very messy. I really want to put lots of detail in, but there's no detail in the clip, so in the music video, so no detail. Not really. Okay, so now the fun bit. I love this bit's gonna be fun. Use your fingers. Don't take much at all. Just dab it once in the pot, and that's it. Just test it on your own to make sure it's not too much. See, that's about right. And just go mad, really. Just place it anywhere you think it needs to be messy, really. So I'm going to start with, by the looks of it, it's random patches like on the forehead. Okay, and I also just made my eyebrow thicker. So I took a big fluffy brush, tiny bit of the cream, and I'm just going over my eyebrow like that. I'm just going to quickly go down my jawline with some of the cream. Just the edges, and just blend it downwards. Okie dokie, there it is. A very rushed, kind of messy, smoky look. It's really not meant to be perfect. I mean, every part of me wants to put extra detail in this, but there isn't, so I'm not. Yeah, for costume, I've got a Punky Fish jacket I've just chucked on just because I thought it looked a bit fitting, maybe, I don't know. I did a tiny bit more shading either side of my neck. I literally got some black cream and rubbed it down the side and blended it out. That's any skin that's on show, you kind of want to highlight, contour it. So darken the hollows, basically. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, make sure to thumbs up, rate, comment, and subscribe, all that jazz. And yeah, so until next time, bye.